Alright, doing a little work on the Mustang today. We're going to rig up a brake pressure switch here. This is like a 67 Mustang brake light switch that goes on the pedal assembly. And also tried one from a, well, the sun is bright out here, I don't know if you can see this or not. Tried one from a 65 and that doesn't work. And this particular one is also from a 65 Mustang that came with a generator instead of an alternator, had a pressure style switch on it, brake light switch. So this is our brake line that runs to the rear, and I wasn't crazy about it anyway. We had a union in it, so we're going to get a new brake line made that goes from the rear all the way to the front, gets through to that union, and it's going to come up here, and we're going to splice this T-fitting in right there. So it's aggravating. I wish we could have got this to fit. Both of the ones I tried from the two different models, no matter how you put it on there, basically the switch was engaged all the time. It didn't have enough space, and you know, we've got a few different components in our brake system, the pedals, the low car, and so some of that stuff, you know, it's not factory, and so that's probably why it's not fitting. But you know, that's what we're working on, and we're going to do a few other things, and we're going to run and get these remade, and we'll put them back on the car and see if we can get the wiring hooked up. Alright, we got a new brake line made up, and so this is going to get mounted down at the frame rail, where just underneath the master cylinder, where it turns back to go to the back of the car. You know, it'll come down like this, you know, from the master cylinder or from the proportioning valve into that, and then back to the rear of the car, 55 inches long. So we'll get that mounted, and then the next thing we're going to do is get our wires. These are the wires for it. We're going to pull those back through. There's some other holes in the firewall that are closer that we'll come out of and route down. And we still got to put loom on all this and make some brackets to attach this, and you know, do a better job with it. But we'll get to work on some of that. We've got a couple other things that we're going to wire in tonight: tack adapter and our diagnostic software that we've got for this. So we'll come back and show you what we do on that. All right, so for all of the big harnesses like this, we're going to probably just use the regular plastic loom with some electrical tape around it. I've got some of that mesh loom that you know, it's kind of like a braided, looks almost like that black braided hose stuff that slips around, and you don't tape it or anything. It's you know, kind of couples itself around the hose and stays on. So but I don't know if that gives as much protection and all, you know, making its way through these kind of passages and stuff. So probably just use the plastic loom and go for that, you know, go with that approach. For little harnesses like this that are going to drop out on their own, just two wires, just going to use some heat shrink on the whole thing. So got that all set up there now, and just using my heat gun to Alright, we got that shrunk on there, and I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of glass cleaner, McGuire's glass cleaner. Give it a little lube, some on the grommet too, because it's a real tight fit through that grommet, and this rubber on rubber doesn't really slide too well. So let's see if we can get this through here. It's going to be a tight fit. You can see really tight fit there. So we'll go pull it all the way through. And we're still doing the gravity bleed on the brakes. Let's see if it's coming through there. We don't want to pull that because it's dropping down from the top. Alright, you see how that's dropping over. Probably pull that back out just a little bit so that it comes down more from up high. Drop straight in like that from the top. And you won't be able to see it once we get carpet and everything in here. So we'll go ahead and drop that straight down and go make our connections. Alright, well, we got it all, brake light switch, pressure switch all wired in there. So Matt's in there going to test it out. Alright, Matt, hit the brake pedal, see what we got. Oh yeah, looking good. Alright, go ahead and do the left turn signal. Turn the key on. Alright, I'll try the right one. And the flashers. Alright, I just turn the lights on. Little smoked tail lights kind of give it a little bit of a dim appearance, but not bad. Looks like we got a couple of LEDs out here and there, but all in all, looks pretty cool. Alright, well, we'll wrap it up, get a few things cleaned up. Got a mess out here. And I meant to show this to FluBoy, went back in the house. So anyway, just wanted to show the LED reverse lights. Pretty cool looking, pretty bright. Have just a slight bit of blue, a little bit of a blue tint to them. So anyway, but they're super bright. All right, here's Matt, the FluBoy, out here hanging around. Real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out to Super Dave 1. He comments on some of my videos. He's a friend on Facebook. He's actually building it's a Scamp. I don't remember what model it is. James Freddy's would be a big fan of his. It's really a sweet looking car. It's, you know, it needs paint, but actually it looks pretty good in its original paint. But he also has a 2JZ in it, and he works for Fram / Autolite up in the Michigan and Detroit area. And the guy's just been super helpful. He's a real engineer type, knows a ton about engines and motors and stuff. Doesn't do too much body work, but may hook him up with Tommy Shoe for a paint job. He's wanting to get it painted. He's trying to get it ready for the Hot Rod Power Tour. So I'll put a link to his channel. He's a cool guy, really helpful, really smart guy, and has helped me out a ton on wiring and suggestions and things. So anyway, so Matt, what do we got here?
Well, right here we got our pressure switch, and this is our temperature switch.
Okay, actually both are temperature switches, right? This one, what does this one do?
That's when it
gets to 180 degrees.
Yeah, it closes the connection and
turns the fan on.
turns the fan on.
And this one we just got hooked up to the gauge. And these were like two mounting bosses that, you know, were the shroud on the original Supra fan shroud bolted to. We just drilled a hole all the way through those and tapped them for our fittings. And so we'll probably end up making some kind of, maybe a little sheet metal cover to just kind of clean this up a little bit and cover it up a little bit. So Matt was talking about working at Goodyear and how you, on the oil filters, you have to sometimes improvise, right? Why is that?
They're in some weird places sometimes.
We were having to improvise on something. He was like, tell me about it. I'm always having to improvise on figuring out how to get the oil filters out. All right, that's a wrap. A lot of yakking and a little bit of work. We got some brake lights now, so that's good. And tomorrow we got a tack adapter to wire in, and something else. Oh, we're going to hook up our ODB2 diagnostic port that we're going to try to rig in. Again, Super Dave 1 hooked me up with that, or pointed me to it. So, and we'll see if we can get our computer connected to this and get some data off of it. So we'll see how that works out. All right, thanks everybody.